Some women walk into a room and everyone just notices. Not because they're trying to get attention, but because there's something different about them. Something you can't fake. Marilyn Monroe had this quality. She could make an entire room go quiet just by being there. But here's what most people don't understand about her power. She wasn't performing confidence. She was being vulnerable. While everyone else was trying to look perfect, she was brave enough to be real. While others hid behind masks, she showed up as herself, flaws and all. And that's exactly what made her magnetic. What if everything we think we know about presence is wrong? What if the secret isn't about being untouchable, but about being genuinely human? Think about how most people enter a room. They're immediately reading everyone else, figuring out who they need to be to fit in. They're adjusting themselves before they even sit down. But there's another approach entirely. Marilyn understood the difference between being impressive and being magnetic. Being impressive is about showing what you can do. Being magnetic is about showing who you are. It's the person who laughs at their own jokes, who actually listens when someone else is talking, who admits when they don't know something instead of pretending they do. It's not about being the smartest person there. It's about being the most genuine. Not the most put together, but the most honest about being human. Because here's the thing. Everyone else is performing strength while feeling uncertain inside. But what happens when someone shows up who's secure enough to let that uncertainty show? We're taught to be easy to like, to take up just enough space but not too much, to be interesting but not intimidating, to be confident but not threatening. So many people live within these impossible boundaries, editing themselves constantly, measuring every word and gesture. But Marilyn was different. She was unfiltered. She let her emotions show, the joy, the sadness, the uncertainty alongside the confidence. She didn't try to control how people saw her. She controlled how much of herself she shared, and she shared it intentionally. There's a big difference between protecting yourself and hiding yourself. Protection means boundaries. Hiding means walls. Protection means choosing what to share. Hiding means sharing nothing real at all. The person who commands attention isn't the one who reveals nothing. It's the one who reveals the right things at the right time. Someone who knows their own story and isn't afraid to tell it. Marilyn wasn't afraid of her struggles because she'd learned to own them. She wasn't ashamed of her success because she had stopped apologizing for it. When you stop pretending to be invulnerable and start actually being strong, everything shifts. Real strength isn't about never getting hurt. It's about staying open even when you could get hurt. Marilyn was criticized for being too much, too emotional, too vulnerable, too real. But that's exactly what made her unforgettable. While everyone else was trying to fit into the room, she made the room expand to fit her. She understood something crucial. In a world full of performances, the most powerful thing you can be is authentic. Not perfect, not polished, just true. And truth doesn't apologize. Truth doesn't shrink. Truth takes up the space it needs. Here's what changes everything. People aren't actually drawn to perfection. They're drawn to recognition. When someone walks into a room and allows themselves to be fully human, they give everyone else permission to drop the act too. The person who truly controls a room isn't controlling anyone. They're freeing people from pretense, from performance, from the exhausting job of being someone they're not. They don't demand attention, they earn it. Not because they're flawless, but because they're present. completely, unapologetically there. Marilyn's power wasn't about what she hid. It was about what she chose to reveal. Her laugh lines, her insecurities, her dreams, her fears. When you show up as your whole self, not just the good parts, but all of it, you create a different energy entirely. You create space that says, it's safe to be real here. It's safe to be seen here. And in a world where everyone's performing, that kind of safety is revolutionary. Maybe the real question isn't, how do I control a room? Maybe it's, how do I get so comfortable with who I am that I help others get comfortable with who they are? Marilyn once said, I'm selfish, impatient, and a little insecure. I make mistakes, I'm out of control, and at times hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, you certainly don't deserve me at my best. She wasn't just talking about relationships. She was talking about life, about showing up fully instead of showing up perfectly. The most magnetic people aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who struggle beautifully, who feel deeply and aren't ashamed of that depth. What if commanding any room is really just about being brave enough to be human in it? Not perfect, not performing, just courageously, unapologetically yourself.